Hey everybody, welcome back to This Old Trike. Today we're going to try to teach something I learned a few years ago. And this is how to get a registration on an ATV, whether it's a four-wheeler, a three-wheeler, a motorcycle, dirt bike, with no prior paperwork. This is how you do it. So let's say I want to get this 1986 Honda 350X registered. Now, some people say, well, it's a three-wheeler, and in New York, you can't get three-wheelers registered. That's one of the downsides to owning three-wheelers. You just can't do it. It's illegal. Well, they're wrong. And I'm going to show you that that is completely wrong by getting this registered. Now, I bought this 86 350X from my buddy Jim. Jim lives a couple towns over. I sold this to Jim a couple years ago. I didn't have paperwork for it then. I bought it from northern New York with no paperwork. So in those instances, somebody would surely say, well, if you don't have any pre-existing paperwork, you don't have a title, a certificate of origin, transferable registration, there's no hope of you getting this machine registered. You'll never be able to ride it off your own property. Well, that's wrong. The only thing I need from this machine is the VIN, which is right here. So I'm going to take a picture of that VIN. I already know the make and model. And another thing, this says 1986 here, manufactured in September of 85. This is not the model year. This is just when it was manufactured. This is the model year. That's why it's bigger. Go here. Don't get hung up on this. Some people do. So I'm going to take a picture of that VIN, a nice clear bright one, get some extra light on it when I do that, so I can bring that to the DMV with some other paperwork that I will fill out, and I'll show you that paperwork right now. Hey everybody, so since this morning, since I took the picture of the VIN for this 86 350X, I have put together all the paperwork that you're going to need to register your vehicle. Any ATV that didn't have prior paperwork, registration, any documentation with it. So this is all the forms you will need for that, whether it's a three-wheeler, a four-wheeler, or a motorcycle. Let me show you what I got. So you will need a clear picture of your VIN. So this is the picture I took this morning. This is oriented like this on the three-wheeler. On your machine, on a four-wheeler, it might be down near the front grab bar. It might be down low on the machine. Different models put their VINs in different locations. And each VIN after a certain year is about the same. So J shows that this is made in Japan. The G is a year denotation, so that means 86. These last 6 digits are the kind of serial number. I believe this is reflecting how many were made. I'm not sure. If you go to the infamous list that is out there for ATC production numbers, 86 350Xs don't even show up on that list. So take everything on that list with a grain of salt. So you get your picture of your VIN. Rubbing will work if you want to do that. It's got to be clear though, because they will shut you down if you don't have a clear picture of your VIN. Next, you're going to need a bill of sale, which will reference your VIN number, model. So I'm not hiding that this is an ATC 350X. I'm not screaming from the mountaintops that it's a three-wheeler to draw attention to myself. I have signed this. I've covered up addresses of me and the seller, and I will get his signature tomorrow. I've listed that I bought it for $250, which is exactly what I paid for it. I mean, 86 350X is in nice shape. That's definitely what they're going for. So when I pay tax on that amount, I'll be contributing to all the good things that New York does for us. So the next things are 4 forms that are DMV forms. These 2 are your normal ones that you're used to filling out if you're buying something and transferring ownership. Your DTF 802 and your MV 82. These were printed off the New York State DMV website today. So I would assume that they have the most current revisions of these documents. I'm talking over my grandfather clock, so please ignore that. But so the DTF 802 is a statement of transaction. Is it a sale or a gift of a motor vehicle? We want the ATV side of things here. So this is all the information on the vehicle. That's my personal information as the new owner. The previous seller, we don't need to know where he lives. The date it happened, I've got no relationship to him. It's not a gift. It's not below value. It is just a typical sale. $250 is what we paid for it. 8% sales tax rate. So I'm paying $20 tax on this to the great state of New York. Today's date. This is if it was a gift, which it isn't. I mean, every 3-wheeler you bring home is really a gift, isn't it? Anyway, so this is the MV82, the registration application. And we have selected that we want to register a vehicle. There is no current plate number. That is NA. Here's my vehicle identification. Body type, that gets asked a couple times. It's an ATV. It's white, 320 pounds, 1 cylinder, 1 person. Odometer reading NA. A lot of this stuff is NA because it applies. This form is for so many different things. Some of it doesn't apply. Damage disclosure, vehicle modifications. I sign that everything is good. So these are the 2 special ones that if you don't have paperwork, if you don't have a transferable registration or title, depending on what the vehicle is, these are what you use. This is an MV51B, and this is an MV51. 51B is a statement of ownership for non-title vehicles, boats, snowmobiles, and all-terrain vehicles. So that's what we want. When a transferable registration is not available, this form may be used. So that's what we're doing here. Now I'm filling this out as the buyer, not the person transferring the vehicle. So I'm registering an ATV in my name. This line pertains to this bottom one, which we haven't checked, so I've left it blank. Last year of registration, unknown, maybe never, I don't know. Previous license plate number, if any, unknown. Maybe I had one, I don't know. Check here if never registered. I'm not certain, so I'm going to leave that blank. Information on the vehicle, we've already done that a few times. I myself certify that I am the owner of the non-titled property described above. It's been in my possession since April 18th. My buddy who sold it to me signs here with his address. The proof of ownership is unavailable because it was lost, I'm assuming. And I'm signing to that effect. There's instructions on the back. That this form is used in conjunction with this form. The seller signs up here. Year of last registration, unknown. Unknown. Plate number, unknown. Name of last registrant, unknown, unknown. We don't know. What are you going to do? That's me. 418 is when I purchased it. Info on the vehicle. Body type, ATV. I got to get my buddy to sign here and date there. I signed and dated there. That's the 1-pager. So once I get my buddy's signature on this form and the bill of sale, I take those 6 things into the DMV and I walk out with a registration and a license plate and a neat little sticker. And that is where we'll jump in next. I want to show you the pen I signed this with. Oh yeah. you know it's going to go through with you when you sign with one of these pens. Here we are at the DMV. It is 1 o'clock. I got my paperwork right here. Let's see how long it takes. Now, how easy was that? Good till next year. $45. So I believe 20 of that was tax. So $25. 1986 Honda. Despite what it said on my form, it just shows up as an ATV here. And all I said was I wanted to register an ATV, and there it is. And so there you have it. Within 24 hours, I took a non-registered 86 350X that I bought from a buddy. No prior paperwork, with just a picture of the VIN, a bill of sale, the 2 normal forms that you fill out, the 802 and the 82, plus the MV 51 and 51B, and you too can get the registration on an ATV. Now this is assuming that it's not stolen, so you got to kind of do your homework and make sure it's not hot. And with that being said, you shouldn't have any trouble. Now, my buddy PJ Hart, everybody knows PJ Hart, he asked me, so what does this mean? He's from Illinois. What does this little license plate allow me to do? Can I ride this on the roads now? Am I road legal? No, not at all. This is basically not so much the license plate, but the registration card is my proof of ownership. And if I want to take this off my property and ride it on, you know, a recreation park or state land, if you're allowed, like we just did the Snert run, check out that video if you didn't see that. For those types of rides, you have to be registered and insured. So the first step is getting registered, and then I could get insurance on this also. A lot of people think that because it's a 3-wheeler and there was a consent decree and manufacturers couldn't make these anymore, that you can't get them registered. Well, here in New York, that's not true. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. And I wanted to clear the record and show you how to do it. So that being said, we're over here doing a final pressure wash before I maybe do a little bit more detailing, but this is being restored survivor status wise. It's not a full-blown, you know, engine out, frame off restoration. We're just taking our time and preserving what was there. It's a preservation. So if you haven't seen my channel and you are into those types of things and 3-wheelers, make sure to follow this video series and like and subscribe, and I will teach you everything I know. And this is just one of those things. Thanks for watching.